Hey guys, it's Annie. Today I am going to talk about concealing under your eyes, what to use under your eyes to get rid of the look of crepey eyes, get rid of the dark circles. We're going to talk about all that in the video. I just wanted to start the video with makeup on so I don't look scary. We're going to get right into the video. You're going to see I'm wearing something else because I'm filming a lot of different videos today. And then you're going to see me pop up at the end of the video wearing this. So I will see a little bit. Let's get into it. One of the reasons you have crepey under eye skin is because it's dry there. So you really have to make sure that it's moisturized. But if it's a little bit dry, one thing you can't do, I mean, you can't use anything abrasive or anything under there to get that up. But one thing that you can do, just have to be careful doing it, is you can use a glycolic acid such as this one. I don't think I would do anything stronger than this. This is from Pixie. It's 5% glycolic acid. So what I will do is I will take a cotton square. I don't like these ones. Actually, a company sent these to me and I hate them, but we're going to use that today. But you take a little bit of cotton, you put it on your cotton square. Here, I'll just show you. You put a little bit on, and then you take it and you put it right under your eye. So I take my finger like that and I'll just go like that. And I'll just get right underneath my eye like that. I don't rub it around or anything like that. And I would just do that once a day. So when you're doing your other acids and you're doing this as part of, if you do use it as part of your routine, it is part of my routine once a day. You can go ahead and do that underneath your eyes. So I prefer to use this in the morning. The other thing you want to do is you want to protect it from the sun. And a great way to do that and also help with discoloration, which we're going to talk about in this video too, is using something like this. So this is from Color Science. It helps with puffy eyes. It helps with correcting your under eye, your darkness that you have under your eyes. And it also has a sunscreen in it, which is really, really good. So you just take this, you put a little bit on, just kind of pump it like a half a pump, and you get it right under your eyes like that. And if there's enough, I do both with it. I don't use a ton of this. You don't need to use a ton. And then you just take your finger and then you blend it in. Just like that. That's all I do. I was using a Bobbi Brown under eye cream. I liked it, but I went through it already and it didn't last me a year, and I just felt like it was really, really expensive and I was hoping it would last longer, and it didn't. What I started doing when I go to bed, there's different creams that I use, and when I use these, I put them under my eyes as well. So one of the creams that I use several, so I don't just use one eye cream, one cream under my eyes. I use all of these. And eventually I will do a morning and nighttime skincare routine that I have. But the thing that for me is I really am listening to my skin, so I don't do the same thing every night. So maybe I'll just show what I use, but not necessarily what I do every day or night, because I really am listening to what my skin needs, and that's what I do. So, if it needs to be exfoliated, I exfoliate. If it needs to be moisturized, I moisturize and all that. And maybe you moisturize a little bit more, maybe back it off, you know what I mean? So I'll get into that sometime. One of the things I use is the CREPEY at nighttime. I put this on, and when I apply it, again, I apply it all over and under my eyes. Another cream that I use, I don't have the other one in front of me, but I use the Trust Beauty. I use the nighttime one. It's specifically for nighttime, but during the day I use this. So again, I will take this off. I'm going to use this one right now because I'm going to use it anyways for, I'm going to wear it today, and I didn't put it on yet. So it's very, very thin in consistency. I put it all over my face, okay, all over. And then I still have some on my fingers. I'll just tap it in like that under my eyes. Another thing that I do this at nighttime, but you could do this during the day too, but I would go easy on it because this is my little cocktail that I do at nighttime with my skincare, is I take a little bit of the Belief Moisture Balm, and I take a little bit of this. This is the marula oil from Drunk Elephants. It's virgin marula oil. I take a little bit of this cream here. I take like a drop or two of this at nighttime. I go like this, I put it all over and I put it under my eyes. So a couple things here. If you feel like you have discoloration in your eyes, one of the things again that you can use is the Color Science. I love this. But if you are, if you're not using this, it's not an option for you or whatever, and you just want another option because you have discoloration, you can use this. Now this doesn't have a sunscreen in it. It's not going to depuff your eyes. It's just going to help with the discoloration that you have by your eyes. Now mine isn't terrible. I know some people have a lot darker under eyes than I do, but I do have that little bit of purpley color there. I'm going to use this. This is from Lancome. This is the color Peach, and it will come in a much bigger container than this. It should come looking like this, because this is their other concealer. What you do is you take a very, very minute amount of this. You don't want to use too much. A little goes a long way. I'm just taking a tiny little dab, because all you really want to do is we want to get rid of that purple. We want to cancel that out. So you just take it. I just take my pinky and I just go right on that area. And I go up here too, because I actually have some up there as well. I'm going to take my Beauty Blender and I'm just going to blend it out a little bit more. That seems like I covered it, but it's just not enough. Then you're going to want to go in with another concealer. The concealer that I would recommend, that I really love, that I feel works really good for mature eyes, is this one from Lancome. This is the Effervescence, and I wear the color, I believe it's Light Buff. It's just worn off now. I use a very little product. I'm going to do it on my other eye first, and then I'm going to do it on top of this one, because I want you to see the difference between the two. So I'm going to go right here and I'm going to apply that. And I just used a tiny amount. Do you see how much that covered that area? And then I'm just going to go in and blend it. And you want to just keep it in that area that you have the discoloration. For me, it's right there. So I'm not going to sweep it all under my eye. The only thing that I do is whatever is left on here, I will take in my corner here, because I have that little bit of that, and I'll even get the very, very tip. I mean, I'm hardly even pressing. So it looks like I'm in there digging, and I'm not. I'm like barely touching under my eye. And I'm getting that area there because I have a little bit of pinkness. That's all I do. That's it. I don't set it. If I set it with powder, I don't care what powder I use. It could be the finest powder in the world. I mean, even if I use Charlotte Tilbury Airbrushed, which is so good, it still will make my under eyes look crepey. So that's another thing that will make you look crepey, is adding any powder underneath your eyes, unless you have amazing skin and when you smile you don't have wrinkles like me. Then you're lucky and you probably could powder. I can't do that. So instead of powdering, I'm going to give you another tip and recommendation. People like to powder because they don't like how it looks a little bit shiny. That doesn't bother me at all. But if it bothers you, take a tissue and just place it on top and just very lightly tap it and take it off. It's just gonna knock down that little bit of the shine that you have on there, and then you don't have to powder it. But once I put this on, it's on. You see the difference between that eye and that eye. Now that eye has the color on it. Now that's something that I want you to remember. If you color correct, that peach color is gonna show like that. I would definitely use a concealer. I'm gonna put this on top so you can see the difference. So some people use their foundation, but you have to be careful with it because your foundation may not work well under your eyes. What you can do if you feel like, oh, I'm trying this tip and it's, when I put it on, it still feels like it's settling. I'm gonna show you something else that you can try. Now, again, I would still put in that area for me, but I'm just gonna show you this. So maybe just apply it on the outside part. Don't apply it on it. Then take your Beauty Blender again and just kind of work it towards it. So you're not applying it on it. That's one of the reasons why you want to just get it where you really need it. Like, again, I know some of you have it all under your eye and it's really tricky. I mean, you could do this and you still may have some issues if you really have a lot of fine lines under there. But just kind of like work your way towards it. So kind of put your concealer on the outside of it and then work it in. And again, I'm just gonna go like that and blend it just slightly. If you want too much on the concealer, you didn't think you did too much and there's too much, take a little brush. This is, I feel like, a must-have in your makeup collection. I really do. I usually don't say that, like you have to have this or that, but this is a really good brush. This is from IT Cosmetics, and there's two sides here. I love both ends, but this one is what I love about this brush. This is really nice for blending out your under eye concealer. If you feel like it's kind of settling a little bit, you can even get it by your nose, around your mouth, whatever. Like, I love this. I even use this to set my powder by my, and after I put my primer on my eyelids, I'll put a little bit of powder on and I'll use this because it's just a nice size. I just really love this brush. What you do is just take it, make sure it's all cleaned up. So if you had any powder on it, you do not want any powder on it. So just wipe it off really good. And then just take it and just go like this, really lightly. Really, really lightly. I can't stress that enough. Just kind of blend it out. Now, can you see the difference between the two eyes? That eye, I definitely have more coverage. I can see that in my mirror, actually. I feel like I have more coverage on that side than that side, and that is because I use the color corrector. A couple other things I want to share with you before you go. When you are looking for a concealer, you really have to find one that's going to work with aging eyes. You just do. For me, this formula works really, really well. I feel like if I use something that has too much of like a serum kind of a feel, like it's too, I don't want to say oily, but you know what I'm trying to say, like a really thin consistency. First off, it doesn't cover my under, it just doesn't cover anything at all. And it settles into every single line that I have. If I use something that's too thick, like the NARS or like the Shape Tape, it's just too drying under my eyes. It just settles in every single crease and line again. So like I said, that's why I love this one. I know I talk a lot about it. This is like my holy grail concealer. I'm gonna be testing out some other ones, but I'm never happy with them. I always feel like I come back to this one. It really is as good as I'm telling you. It really, really is. Not only is it this concealer that works for me, it's the way you're applying it. So like I said, you don't want to apply it really thick. You want to make sure that you're only applying it to the areas that you really, really need it, and you don't want to powder it. If you have lines on your eyes, especially when you smile, you can see I have lines when I smile. Those are lines, okay? I have lines. I don't have Botox. I don't have fillers. You could see. I don't have any of that on my face. So you really, really need to use very little product. Only use it where you need it, and do not powder under your eyes if you have any kind of dryness or whatever, because it's just going to accentuate it. That is it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I really hope that this was helpful and informative. Like I said before, application is key when you're covering up, concealing your under eyes. Make sure that you're moisturizing too. If you have dry under eyes, you want to make sure that you're taking care of that skin so it doesn't look crepey, but you also have to make sure that you're using the right concealer and also applying it correctly as well, so it all kind of works together. And that is it. Thank you again so much, and please make sure you click that button below, hit the subscribe button. I share new videos every single week. Also click that notification bell too, because anytime I share a new video, you will be notified. Follow me on Instagram. I will leave all the links below with everything that I shared in this video, everything that I'm wearing that I didn't share in this video. I will link below as well. And that is it. Thank you again so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your continued support. I really, really, really appreciate each and every one of you. I am thankful to each and every one of you, and I will see you all real soon.